Those of you guys that, maybe you have suspected or felt at certain times that you've been implanted or attached, or maybe even just oppressed or affected by, dimensional energies, entities, whatever you want to call it. What we have found is that, within the energy body, there are certain places in which these things hang out. And I'm going to move my little screen up here. There we go. And we often find AI implants around the head, around the neck, within key areas in our nervous system, oftentimes the vagus nerve. And we're not going to go too deeply into the vagus nerve here today, but this is a very, very important place for, just influencing our fight or flight, our adrenals, the trauma signals in our body. The vagus nerve runs through, as far as I can tell, all of the organs in your body on some level. It will touch or connect with those. And what it does is it literally vibrates with trauma. It vibrates with energy. It vibrates with emotion. And when the vagus nerve is either attached, implanted, or affected by some form of energy, it can literally send signals through your entire body, through all of your organs. It affects literally everything. And it's kind of why it's called the vagus nerve. It's a wandering, the wandering nerve. But very, very important that we are aware of this. And so they can be attached to, but not limited to, specific chakras, such as the cerebellum chakra in the back of your head. And I'm positive that there are some people probably here on this workshop right now that have experienced strange sensations, that have had issues in the back of their head, that have had dream time attacks, that have also had sleep paralysis. We do find, and the people that I've worked with that have had that, oftentimes there's some sort of a buildup, an attachment, a blockage at the back of the head. The reason for that being, in my opinion and experience, is because we have a couple places on the energy body in which cords or kind of like connections will exist to the fourth density energy body. And when we're moving in and out of the dream state, coming in and out of or like waking up in the morning, we're moving, oftentimes, a lot of our consciousness is coming through the back of your head, all the way here in the back, right where this thing is. If you guys can see my little pointer over here. And you can even see this little image that we brought here, right here back in the cerebellum. We have a really big energy portal. And so when we're affected by non-organic technology, when we have heavy metal buildup, when we have implantation, when we have some form of entity attachment, or just straight up blocked energy in the body, our discernment centers can get blocked. Our sort of ability to reflect, look back, to really analyze our behaviors, our emotions, our thought processes, and especially our motivations. For some reason, this area of our energy body can have a really big effect on how those things play out. Along with that, the third eye chakra. This is another really important thing to mention. A lot of clients come to me telling me that they have some sort of a blockage, or this black veil, or this dark cloud, or I think in one case it was literally like a black cone that had been placed in front of their vision, so they could see there was things outside the cone, but they couldn't see what was in the cone. Very, very interesting structure. And one of the ways that we have come to understand the interaction with, artificial intelligence, especially, just straight up, frequency interference in the body, is that this is one of the very, very important places to be suppressed on the human body. This is oftentimes why, we experience that fluoride kind of blankness that we get from food and water. And the reason for that being is as it lines and sort of calcifies around the pineal gland, and also some of the optic nerves that kind of spread off and go in different directions in your head, creates this static-like effect. It's almost like, on the old school, like a TV, when you just see static and snow on the screen. For some of us that have AI implantation or frequency interference affecting the third eye chakra, we can feel as if we have static. We can feel as if things are blocked or cloudy. Some people will literally hear metal tones in their head. But along with that, we also tend to interact with the crown chakra, which we'll talk more about later, the pericardium meridian, the gallbladder, which we talked about a few moments ago, and urinary bladder, heart, kidneys, a number of really interesting areas that are important because they're coming online right now, quite literally coming online with the fourth density shift that we're in. And so our organs are activating on an additional layer as well. Every single element of our like consciousness right now, we're experiencing an additional layer of whatever that is. And for us, that's just one of the hallmarks of the fourth density ascension process, the additional layer of consciousness present in everything. So what would we look for? Let's just say, theoretically, you know, some of the things we've seen with people that have non-organic, you know, technological oppression or implantation or whatever you want to call it, possible symptoms: pornography addiction, compulsive, repetitive, deviant desires, or sexual behavior. Why is that? Some people are going to hear that and go, what? That's not an AI thing. Well, the reason why it is because oftentimes distorted sexual frequencies or victimizer frequencies are oftentimes implanted or laid within the pericardium meridian. The pericardium guards the heart. It's a literal layer that surrounds your heart. And from a fourth density perspective, it's actually a guardian layer or a liquid-like energy layer that can be programmed. And so what we find is when it's attached by some form of artificial or non-organic consciousness or just really any form of blockage here, this is one of the areas on the energy body that contributes to very distorted sexual signals. And the reason for that being is because one of the aims, one of the missions of artificial intelligence is to separate you from your higher self, from your spirituality, from your sovereignty, to take that vital energy that you're creating in your body and divert it into this hive mind construct that it's creating. So before I go on an even bigger tangent, what else happens when we get implanted, or just some of the possibilities? We do see victim mentality, absolute helplessness. We will see people shut down. They will literally have this glitch out. They will blank out. It's as if an element of their consciousness will literally flick off like a switch. A lot of you guys have seen this with some of the MK Ultra celebrities that just kind of go into glitch out mode. I think you guys saw Hillary, you know, do her woo thing that she did. You know, it's a common meme at this point. What you're seeing in some cases with things like that are literally pieces of our circuitry being shut off, being glitched out, being surged with energy. When we have these AI implantation or these modules around our body, there can be a very uneven and disproportionate flow of energy through the body. And so from an emotional and behavioral perspective, when we're kind of influenced by these frequencies, you know, we find victim mentality, helplessness. We become very, very fatigued. For some people that get Lyme disease, they get other sorts of autoimmune disorders, not in all cases, but there is a relationship with non-organic sentient technology that will literally be pulling your energy out of your body and placing it elsewhere. It's like siphoning off, you know, all of your chi, all of your energy, whatever it is. Very, 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 very interesting phenomenon, and almost always born from some level of early stage or, you know, heavy metal toxicity that grows and exacerbates and spreads into different areas of the body. It is important to note, and we're going to talk about it in a minute before I go to the next slide, you guys. Notice it says lymphatic disorders down there. We're about to understand and kind of demonstrate during the group healing that we're going to be doing the importance of your lymphatic system in flushing and clearing non-organic frequencies and technologies.